Well, hello everybody. Happy Sunday. Coming to you with a little Sunday motivation here today. I hope everybody's having an incredible weekend. And my name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. And today I want to talk to you about failure. I want to talk to you about rejection. These are things that are going to be part of life for all of us that are looking and working to become successful. It's going to be part of the process. And today, I want to talk to you about the number one way to make failure and rejection actually help you to become successful. Many of us, when we think of Michael Jordan, we think of the GOAT. Look, I got my Nike shirt on today just to represent Michael Jordan. We think of the GOAT. We think of the greatest of all time. We think of, Air Jordan. We think of the guy flying through the sky with his tongue out to dunk the ball. We think of all the NBA championships, all the awards, all the accolades. But did you know that Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team? Did you know that the coach said, look, you're not even good enough to ride the bench. Cut. You're not even on the team. Not just that you're not starting, not that you're not playing next week. You're not even on the team. And can you imagine at that moment that he had some choices to make in his life? Would you agree at that moment, he could have easily said, you know what? I'm probably not cut out to play basketball. Maybe something else is in my future. Thank God for all of us that he didn't make that decision. Instead, he used to go to the gym before the boys team practice every morning, and he would practice every single morning earlier than the team practice, and then he would go into the locker room and he would stare at the list of the roster of the varsity basketball team to remind himself every single morning that his name was not even on that list. Do you know that in college, when he was at North Carolina, when he became an amazing player for North Carolina, did you know that it was his roommate, not him, that was named Carolina Player of the Year for basketball? And he got into the NBA and he was doing amazing things, but still the doubters were there. The skeptics were there. The critics are like, listen, you're never going to be as good as Magic Johnson. You're never going to be good as Larry Bird. And then they said that he couldn't beat the Knicks. He couldn't beat the Pistons. All this rejection, all the failure, everything that he had to go out and overcome. But in his NBA, when he got inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame, here's what he said in his speech. In his 23-minute speech being inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame, he said, each rejection put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every single day trying to get better and becoming the best basketball player that I could ever become. See, he converted his rejection into personal fuel. Somebody drop a comment that says personal fuel. Again, he converted his rejection into his personal fuel. Do you know that Tom Brady, 6-time NFL, Super Bowl champion. Some people refer to him as the greatest of all time, just like Mr. Michael Jordan in his sport. And do you know that Tom Brady had 198 players drafted before him in the NFL draft? Do you know that he was so dejected that he left his own draft party before even hearing his name getting called to be drafted? And do you know that he said it was his draft experience? It was those 198 players that got drafted before him. Do you know that it was that was his personal fuel? Do you know that Steve Jobs was fired from his own company? Fired from his own company that he started before he came back and ended up saying, this is the iPod. Do you know that Oprah Winfrey was fired earlier on in her career? Do you know that Walt Disney was fired for having a lack of creativity? But they let that become their personal fuel. See, we're all going to encounter circumstances, and you can either be the victim of your circumstances or you can be the master of your circumstances. Joel Osteen always says you can become the victim or the victor. So I encourage everybody today, become the victor. I know that there's some people that are listening to this tonight. You're really going through some things. You're going through those challenges. You're going through that adversity. You're going through the failure. You're going through that rejection, and you got to go out and let that become your personal fuel. So if you got something out of today's message, hit the share button so somebody can get something out of this message as well. And go ahead and drop a comment. Drop a comment that says, fuel my fire. I'd love to, Mr. Geraldo Hodge, good to see you, buddy. Drop a comment that says, fuel my fire. Again, click the share button so somebody else can hear the information here tonight. A little Sunday motivation for everybody. And drop a comment that says, fuel my fire. Again, my name is Jeff Street. I teach people how to make money from home online. I hope that I could fuel your fire a little bit here today. God bless everybody. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow.